Welcome back, y'all. Super random video. I just wanted to come at you with a Monday video. It's not really motivational, but I wanted to put some content out there. Yes, I'm in my bathrobe. I just got out the shower and it's bedtime, so I'm gonna see what this video does. I don't even have my script. Today, we are gonna be revising my older video called What is the Ego? I think it's in April. One of my first videos, definitely pretty rough. This one might be rough with my robe and such. I feel pretty good though. But I want to revise that video. There's a lot of good information. Go check it out. But there's a whole spectrum of the ego that I was not aware of until recently. I discovered basically a developmental map of the ego. Okay, so the ego itself is the identity that you run with. It's the you, it's your name, it's that self-image that you have in your head, like I am Langozer, and Langozer is good at this and bad at this, and he's done this and he's going to do this. All these concepts in your head, that's the ego. Okay, that's a rough graph of it, but the ego is definitely necessary. Some people say the ego is the enemy and it's all this. Not necessarily the fact that the ego is definitely needed. What the ego is, survival wise, because I mean that's what the ego was developed to survive. When civilization was not as comfortable as we are today, you had to have some instincts, and you got to have some survival mechanisms to help you out. Okay, so the ego is all about survival of the body, but once the body is cool, the ego continues and it wants to survive as an identity too, and that's where you run into problems. Because for one, you probably haven't even questioned your identity as a whole. Like, who are you? This identity was just handed to you, and you were given these worldviews, and we believe this and we don't believe that, and this is good and that's bad. None of these things were questioned. Epistemology is huge in kind of deconstructing the ego and just becoming aware of that ego. Who has a hand in your day-to-day life? When you are unconscious, you are just flowing through life, you're doing your work, whatever. Who has a hand in that? Is it you, your conscious self all the time? Is it your subconscious? Your ego? Because to answer your question, my question I guess, the ego does play a hand in every decision you make. Still, like, even when conscious, I mean real conscious, the ego still plays a factor in everything. Your memories, your self-image, the identity you run with, that. And I mean, like, this is a radical view. Like, this is, like, I know some of you guys are just sitting back thinking, like, this is kind of weird. Really think about it, man, from, like, a bird's eye view. It's tough. This is not easy work. It's going to take some time to really embody this, but when you see it, boy. So I discovered this, it's like 9 phases of the ego, and the ego can grow, and it really puts it on a graph, and, like, because to be frank, you're given this ego on complete chance. Like, everybody's just thrown up in the air, and the paper you catch is your ego. Okay, so the ego is formed through your childhood, whether that's traumas, good, bad. It's formed through your environment, like where do you grow up and where are you in now, and it's programming. Are you programmed in a first world country or a third world country? What kind of programming do you have? What kind of reactions are you going to get? Is it going to be fight for your life at all costs, every decision you make? Or is it going to be more of a civilized, like, I'm going to stab him in the back and make a little more on the top? You know, these knee-jerk reactions, that's the ego. And as you evolve, the reactions change, and as you become aware of it, you can help yourself grow. And as you transcend the ego, you build as a person, and you ultimately you become your best self. But the thing is, not everybody evolves. Some people are born with a real low ego set, and they stay that way. Maybe they go up a level or two, but overall they stay pretty low. But some people are given a low standpoint or a high standpoint, and they become aware of it, and then they build and they grow and they work on it and they work on it and they work on it, and then the world is like a pedestal. Whatever if you really transcend the ego and you really work on yourself, you can accomplish whatever that dream you want. You can accomplish that. I promise you. Like, if you look at the people that really became aware of the ego and really transcended it, that's like the biggest. I'm not gonna say icons, because that just brings in like Hollywood and just materialistic people, but like the true happiness, the true just. It's tough to put into words for the material paradigm, man. But I'm gonna shoot videos, probably 2 or 3. You know, there's 9 phases of this graph that I just recently discovered. I mean, this thing is brand new to me, 2 days ago probably. Wow, it's amazing to be able to look at it like this, because I've been aware of the ego for a couple years now, and it still gets me. Like, you don't just drop the ego or kill the ego or have an ego death or anything like that. The ego is still there, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but you have to be aware of the ego to where you can create boundaries for yourself, your real authentic self, and you're like, all right, ego, that's a little much. But it's not bad to react on the ego sometimes, because it's not all bad. It's not all bad reactions. Sometimes it goes too far, sometimes it's in the wrong place, but that reaction is there for a reason. And if you're open-minded enough, you can be aware, consider the ego's answer or knee-jerk reaction, and then make a better decision, or you can ride with it. But I feel like I'm kind of running around what this ego concept is. I do need you to check out that first video. Kind of hard to watch. Hope this one's better. I do see improvement, but it's kind of tough. Yeah, I don't know. I hope you guys just liked the video off the top of the dome, man. I just jumped out the shower. I was like, I gotta put this down. So I just off the cuff, no script. No bullet points, man. Said I wouldn't do it anymore, but I did. Ain't even mad. I feel like this video turned out pretty well. The ego. I'm missing more. I'm gonna have to put out a couple more ego videos for sure. We're gonna talk about the 9 phases, but just describing and becoming aware of the ego, man. There's so much that falls under this ego standpoint, man. You got self-bias, self-deception, your self-image, your memories, your goals, your dreams, your fears. Like, everything falls under this ego mind, this ego. And the messed up part is, most people are not even aware that the ego is running your life. Running your life, man. Become aware of it, watch it for what it is, and you're gonna be like, that's not even my reactions. You know? Like, dang, where did that come from? Like, I'm not that hateful. I'm not that stressed about this. Somebody cuts you off in traffic. You're not rushing it at all. But somebody cuts you off in traffic. You cuss them out. You slam on your horn and just go crazy. You're like, wow, it's not even that deep. Ego. Become aware of it. Work on it. It's tough. It's a tough topic to talk about. Probably come out with another one tomorrow. Just I'll review this. I'll probably throw this out. Put this out there, review it, and then put a number 2 out tomorrow. So, peace, much love, positivity. If you like this content, I know this video is kind of random, but if you like this content and this kind of approach to self-development, give me a like, share, comment. I'm on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Website is almost done. Business cards coming out soon. Big shout out coming. Beautiful work, man. But Yep, that's all I got for you guys. So much love. I hope you enjoy your week.